Hey guys, welcome back. It's Maverick here today with episode 6 of Shaman King. So, this episode was also a little bit delayed for me. I mean, this video for you guys anyways. And the reason for this is, I'm sure you guys know, this is currently a Netflix series, so it is, there's no official English subs for this. And because of that, I've been having to rely on fan subbing groups, right? Which, obviously, there's still this kind of culture within anime and whatnot. But basically, the fan subbing group that I was using, Setsugen, they already had a pretty late release schedule, and for this episode in particular, they got significantly delayed, right? So, for time being, I am actually switching to another fan sub, Tenrai Sensei, I think, is their subgroup name, or the fan subber. So you might see like the honorifics and the localization being slightly altered and whatnot, but in any case, hopefully it's not going to affect the viewing quality too much. And hey, if the quality is good, I might just end up using it in the future, right? I originally used Setsugen because even though it was a little bit more delayed, but at the very least, I liked his translation style, or her translation style, a lot better. With the honorifics and the relatively unlocalized kind of translation, right? Keeping a lot of the original words and whatnot. To me, that actually adds to the viewing experience. I don't particularly like completely localized words in my subtitles. But anyways, putting that aside, so where are we now, right? Last episode, we had this great, well, at least great for fans anyway, the explanation and the usage of Oversoul, right? And definitely the nostalgia hit me hard, but, for all new viewers, hey, we got this new kind of format of fighting, and of course, we are going to be utilizing it from now on, right? And of course, the Yo is officially in the Shaman King tournament now, so we are actually going to be starting the tournament fights, right? And so I'm pretty sure in this episode, we're going to be getting our first fight. Let's get into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Alright. I'm also changing up my my setup a little bit, so I have two monitors and whatnot. Traditional handcraft. Yep. And we saw that at the end of last episode. Which, if I'm being completely honest here, this part is actually something I kind of have an objection with once we get to the later stages of this work, right? And then you think back to this scene, and you're gonna be like, really? Tauren killed an official? Chain of consequences. That's also quite an apt description of this, considering what happens in the future as well. Remember that. I mean, it's not particularly important in the grand scheme of things that you know it, but a lot of what happens in the future does tie in with this concept of chain of consequences. Oh, okay, so this translation is using for Yoku as well. Good, good, good. Let's see. A rare scene of seeing Anna get jealous, right? Those scenes don't happen very often. Bum, 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 bum. You are Lou. You know, the more that I listen to this, the more that is really glowing on me. I do hope that one day, you know, in all Shaman King fans, it can be as iconic as Oversoul. And Northern Light as well. Kimi da. I'm pretty sure that they are going to be changing the opening sometime in the future, right? If this is a full 52 episode. Oh, they actually didn't go... Huh. Alright. I was actually kind of hoping that they went through the entire, you know, thing with Anna being jealous and whatnot. Yep. It's a very famous catchphrase of his. Oh damn, they come... Huh, they completely... Alright. They completely fast forward to this one. Alright. Wow. Yeah, it's handmade. Basically, to give some context to this style is the exact same as Yo wore while he was many, many years younger and in training with his gramps. Ugh, that's gotta be bad for a snowboard. Although I guess since you put Overstow into it. By the way, Anna would absolutely wipe them all out if she got serious. I wonder who's the voice for Koro. Right. This is also and sure you guys can listen to all this. I want to talk a little bit more about that battle outfit, of course. So back in the manga, they actually foreshadowed that for quite a while with Anna going off and being nicer to Yo and whatnot, having a change in attitude. And then it turns out that good for you. While I was watching this, I didn't quite snowboard yet. I snowboard now. It's one of my favorite sports. And then you realize just how ridiculous the snowboard looks, actually. Both in its style and whatnot. Like, no camber at all. When I saw this thing at the first time, all I could think about is how much it looks like a one of those Digimon apparatus and whatnot. Okay, it seems that this translation, this fanserver is also using the more unlocalized kind of stuff. Well, that's just Yo. Right. A tree is cute though. You guys gotta agree with that. Perhaps he's gonna become Thanos? Balance in all things. Whack him one, Anna! Hurry up! Go! Sure. And that's his way of justifying it to himself. Whew. Oh, damn. Now that I do snowboard, I kind of want that kind of snowboard ride. You can snowboard anywhere. And he's like, so many people have touched it, and it shows like 4 people. Alright, I do hope they do this animation justice though. Mm-hmm. Oh. Surfing. Aw, it didn't really show anything. Alright. Although, you know, all things considered, when you consider they're fighting against, like, supernatural beings and whatnot, an avalanche does seem like a whole lot of energy for quite little direct attacking power, right? But hey, this is just the beginning, right? Oh, a... Yep. I mean, of course, yeah, us seeing the opening and all. Even first-time watchers should know that he's part of the gang. Now, this is certainly ironic. Who's this? Who's this? I think... yeah. I think this is also the original voice actress of Firika. Yeah, I think this is also the original voice actress because you can kind of hear the you can kind of hear you can kind of hear the strain in her voice. The voice of reason, Manta. Although after Horo, I think next episode. Yeah, this one. Okay, this is gonna be a fun one. I mean, I think it's quite obvious what kind of stuff he's gonna be using, just from that still shot there. Alright, I will see you guys after this. Alright guys, so that was episode 6, and Yo has gotten the first of his preliminary rounds down pat, right? But, you know, I'm gonna be honest here, out of the 3 preliminary rounds to 3 opponents, Horo is probably my least favorite fight out of these 3. My favorite is actually the next one, which we will be seeing next episode, of course. But that one is also mostly. No, I just like the entire concept. All right, we'll talk more about that once we get to the next episode. Even though I think it's kind of obvious, with that still at the very end there, where this new dude that's coming up is standing, and I think they make it quite obvious. But hey, I'm not gonna spoil anything just in case. So Horo, yeah, he's part of the team, and we can see that he clearly has a attitude much more similar to Yo's, right? And also coming from a background that's kind of like Yo as well, he's got somebody to be there, because he has such a laid-back attitude. He's got someone pushing him along and whatnot. Oh, and by the way, Pirika is actually being voiced not by the original voice actress, but actually by Hidaka Rina, so who's basically the professional Lolly voice, right? Chanlina. So anyways, that was just an aside. I actually thought it was the original voice actress because, I thought that the voice sounded kind of like, sort of kind of like Anna's voice, right? Where you can clearly hear the age in the voice actress's voice, even though it still has the same feeling to it. But just through some of it, you can feel the voice, the age in the voice and whatnot. But anyways. That's kind of beside the point. The actual episode and the actual fight, again, there's not really too much to say about all this, although I think this is the first time that we actually get to understand Yo, how he treats these fights, how he explains to himself, the fact that he is basically going to trample over and stop other people's dreams in order to achieve his own dream, which, as he fully admits, is kind of like a minor thing in the grand scheme of things, right? Everybody else, they basically have this goal, this sort of this sort of thing, this sort of destiny that they want to fulfill or something of that sort. Whereas Yo, our boy here, is just being like, I just want to, do this so that I can take time off and live freely, right? Which, it is absolutely a charm in of itself, and we talked about this already in the past, right? But you do kind of have to justify it to yourself as well, and this is how Yo chooses to justify it, right? And not only that, but he's being quite sincere as well, and this is going to continue later on with all the other characters that we meet, and there are a ton of them, right? The fact that he goes around wanting to know, like, what exactly is your dream? Why are you fighting? What are you fighting for? And this kind of thing. To him, this is super, super important. Okay, so just to keep that in mind, this is going to be something that's continuing in the future, and Yo is actually a guy who takes these things seriously. Like, he was seriously willing to even drop out of the Shaman King fight just because he heard of this dream from Horo, which, I'm gonna have to agree with Manta here. It's a noble goal and whatnot, but in the grand scheme of things, it's also not exactly all that grand. When you think about it, right? It's not like, okay, I'm gonna save the earth, I'm gonna stop global warming or whatnot, I'm gonna stop deforestation, I'm gonna balance the ecology. No, not quite that. But still, to Yo, this is already important enough that he does want to support him already, right? So that just again sort of builds up Yo's character, although the actual fight itself, I'm more kind of meh towards. And to be honest, I don't think that the animation did a particularly good job of animating the scenes as well. And I recall that it was a bit more cooler than this. Get the pun? Cooler? But anyways, again, they are kind of rushing through all this part. So for the time being, before they get into an actual serious important arc, I'm gonna let them off the hook for now. And as I said in the last episode, I reckon it to be around episode 10, right? And at that point, we'll know if they actually. We already know the love that's been poured into this from a script writing perspective, because they are putting in all these sort of fan service to us older fans, right? But still, even with all that being said, you still gotta have the fundamentals down pat, which so far, it's acceptable, right? It's acceptable. But obviously for me, for other fans as well, we want this to be good. We want this to be great, right? So we'll see about that. anyways, thank you guys, and I will see you guys next episode as well. Stay tuned, and oh, by the way, so I think this fan subbing group is quite adequate when it comes to the translations and whatnot. I do enjoy the fact that they utilize more unlocalized translations, so I might just be going with them from this week forward, which will hopefully allow me to get these episodes out a lot earlier than as they are right now. Right, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys next time.